is so much different than other places around the country, I'm told by a number of the comedians and stuff like that, because the average age of the person is the oldest county in America.
Right, right. And so, the amazing thing is that I get kind of loose sometimes with the language, to say the least. But I'm shooting a special for television on January the 18th back home in Grapevine. It's a big deal. It's at a theater, at the Palace Theater. And so we get to Bassani, and my agent was supposed to let Mark know that, if you're booking me, you're booking me. That I'm going to just do what I do. And apparently he never had that conversation. So I get here on New Year's Eve, and suddenly
The show has changed, the language has changed.
Yeah, the filter has changed. And so I did the first show, and I've been doing some of the cruise ships for the last year and a half.
So you were somewhat used to it.
Yeah, so I can pull the family show, and I did for the 5:30 show. I did the very family friendly, anywhere from 2 to 82 could see the show. And then I went back to the hotel because we had a 5-hour gap in between the two shows. And just brought, the adult content material, but I just dropped the one word.
Right.
And I was amazed on how well it went. And it's actually, it's really a godsend, because now with
you're ready for
shooting the special, we're going to be ready for it. And then, I was the 5th guy signed with the Blue Collar Tour. So when those guys, the managers, put that tour together, I was the guy that pinched hit through part of that tour.
Okay.
And those guys have no longer, and they won't be touring anymore. So,
that's what I heard. It's done.
And that tour made $50 million. So there's $50 million on the table. So that's by dropping that one word, maybe we can go after some of that money. Cause
there you go.
I got 3 kids.
Blue collar too.
Yeah, blue collar of my own.
Yeah.
Myself. So yeah, but it's been amazing. I mean, we've had an amazing year. I actually, I'm not only a comedian. I don't know if you know, but I also started an organization called Cowboys Who Care Foundation. And what it was 2 years ago, we had a young lady named Ashley Miller who was 12 years old, whose parents were big fans of mine, but Ashley had a rare form of cancer, and they asked me to put my name on a golf tournament to raise some money for her, and we did. And then her cancer went into remission, and then came back with a vengeance. And Ashley lost that battle June of last year, of 11. Now that it's a new year, but I couldn't figure it out. I knew I wanted to help out kids with pediatric cancer, and I Googled one day kids with cancer images. And I had all these big, bright, beautiful faces, these smiles, and these bald heads. And in the mirror, I could see my cowboy hat. And that's when it hit me. Well, these kids need cowboy hats, because what 7-year-old wants to wear a wig, but what 7-year-old doesn't want to wear a cowboy hat?
Yeah.
So we formed the Cowboys Who Care Foundation. In the last 6 months, we've given away a little over 800 cowboy hats across the country to boys and girls with cancer, and we're going strong now. We're really picking up steam on the whole thing. It's becoming my living legacy.
It's a good legacy to have. I've long agreed with you on pediatric cancer. When I started in this business, there was we had a young child that came down with leukemia, and when you go on the website back then, well, there was no websites back then. I was still using stone tablets like kid does. When you went to research at the library, there was nothing on pediatric cancer research.
Absolutely.
They were doing it all for the adults and nothing for the kids.
Well, we've made hospital visits. I headlined the MGM in December during the National Finals Rodeo weeks for the 10-day run.
Yep.
And so we delivered about 125 hats to the kids at Sunrise Children's Hospital there.
Perfect.
And it's just been just this amazing program. And it's amazing. The first hats that we gave away were in Southern Illinois, and we gave away a little over 300 cowboy hats to a summer camp. But these are real cowboy hats. I mean, these aren't the fake ones that you get.
Yeah.
So Resistol's really come on board. But there was this one young man, he was missing about half of his jaw. And they said he probably didn't want to take any pictures, and because he's been there for 3 years and he never participates in any of the events and anything else. And so I was fitting with this cowboy hat, and his chest puffed up, and he got this big, bright, beautiful smile. And I said, "You want to take a picture?" And he took the picture, and then his mother sent me this amazing email that said, for the rest of the week, he participated in everything. He made eye contact with folks. He wouldn't take off the cowboy hat unless it was to go to sleep. And even then, it was a struggle. And so those are the amazing things that can happen. Because let's face it, every kid wants to be a cowboy. Every kid wants to be a cowboy at some point.
Tommy didn't.
Tommy didn't?
No, we'll be right back. We'll be back with Cowboy Bill. No, he wanted to be Jimmy Buffett.